Did you not have any satisfaction when Brian and Dominic were rolling down the road and they pulled up next to that old dude in the Ferrari and Dominic was like, bird him?
No, not really.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't like this movie. I'm sorry.
I don't like you. You didn't like when Dominic was fighting that dude at Race Wars and his friend was walking over and Letty just decked him?
That was good.
It's great.
I think you'll find it's great.
I think if you watch it again, Carter, I think you'll find it's great.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pacific Standard, guys. As always, I am one of your hosts, a third of your hosts, Carter Briggs, and with me are two lovely, beautiful, gorgeous gentlemen, Abel Stoika.
What's up?
And Mason Winter.
Hello.
We're already loose. We're too loose already, listeners. Dear listeners. Today...
What's up? My name's Brian.
Oh, fuck. And today we are talking about the original Fast and Furious movie.
Not to be confused with Fast and Furious.
Oh.
Which is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Did a little Google. Just Googled where to stream Fast and Furious movies. Got hit with a Max link. Started watching that movie. And I was like, hey, this is weird. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then I realized it was the fourth one. And so then I had to find the first one, which isn't on any streaming platform currently. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's a library moment. You gotta go to the library, like me.
Yeah.
No, it is very confusing. I don't understand why they did that. It doesn't make any sense.
Neither do I. But we did watch the original.
At least all of the other Fast and Furious movies make a lot of sense.
They're numbered, except for Tokyo Drift.
But Tokyo Drift is also a standalone story. Like, it only features one of the characters.
But they count it as the third one.
It deserves it.
Are you counting Dom as the character? Or am I missing
Han.
someone?
Han's not in like the first.
Later, but
yeah,
he's
also one of the best characters in the franchise.
Let me tell you something. Can I tell you something about this movie? And this might spoiler.
Mason's got to do the plot recap.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you want
Mason, what happened in this fucking movie?
Golly Wally.
Oh golly.
Paul
Wally,
Walker is Brian O'Connor. He is a cop who is undercover with a group of street racers, some gearheads, including Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, and his whole posse. Brian's initial job is to figure out who is responsible for the robberies of these trucks that are rolling down the highway and getting rolled up on by 3 souped up cars and then hijacked and robbed. And so Brian's job is to go undercover and figure out who's responsible for this. But in the process, obviously, he makes emotional connections to these people. He can't put these people away. These are good people. He finds family. Big theme throughout the Fast and Furious movies. Family. Through all sorts of hijinks, Brian challenges Dom to a race. He loses it. Ends up owing Dom a bunch of money because he was supposed to give him the car if he lost, but he ruined the car in the process of the race. So most of the movie is Brian working with Dom at his garage, fixing up cars, and slowly earning and working back that debt that he's owed Dom. Finally, there's a big race culmination moment at the end, but they gotta leave because they're robbing a truck. And it's revealed that Brian is a cop to Dominic and the rest. And you would think that they would disown him, but Brian has seen the heart in these people. He's seen the good nature of these people. And at the end, he gives Dominic his keys and he says, he hears the cop sirens coming and he says, get on out of here. And that's the movie.
You sound like a heel right now. You got the energy of a heel.
No, Mason doesn't have the energy of a heel. I've got heel energy, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me get right into it. All right, and I'm happy to take this on the chin. I know this is not a popular opinion. All right, clearly these movies do really well.
Yeah,
this was a boring ass movie.
Yeah.
This is a really fucking boring movie. I was really bored watching it. I didn't like it. The only characters I liked were Paul Walker and Dominic and kind of Vin Diesel, but not really because his motivations are a little weird. They're a little strange.
Like what?
I just like the red herring in this movie. I don't know. I just fucking was bored. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't really get the sense of family in the gang because there's that one gang dude who's trying to fuck Dom's sister, but she doesn't like him. She's into Paul Walker, and he really takes it personal and gets really shitty with her. At one point, he's like, "I'm gonna put you out on the streets, girl." Like he's gonna pimp her out because she doesn't like him back. And I'm like, that's not a good person. There's no like honor among thieves in these people except for Vin Diesel. Like Vin Diesel's the only honor amongst thieves type guy. So like when Paul gets him, I'm like, yeah, I mean like Vin Diesel was okay, but the rest of them I probably should go to jail because they suck as people.
The only person I don't like is Vince.
Who you're not supposed to.
Which one is
Exactly.
Vince? Which one is Vince?
He's the tattooed guy who's being a douche and hitting on...
Yeah.
Who wants to be with Dom's sister, but...
I didn't love Michelle Rodriguez is... I bet she's cooler in the later movies, but I was really like...
She is just because, like, this is the start of... This is basically where you see the origins of Dom and her's relationship, because it carries on throughout all the movies. And you start to see them more friendly with each other and not as abrasive, because they're both very abrasive people, and they kind of clash a little bit, it seems, even though they're together, obviously.
Dude, it just... the other thing I also didn't like, it could have been the way I watched it, but this movie doesn't look great.
No, it looks like a movie from 2001.
But also it doesn't look like... I mean, I mean, even beyond that, I don't even mean special effects or anything. I mean, like, camera-wise, like, cinematography-wise, it just looks...
Some of the editing is so funny.
It doesn't look great, is my problem. It doesn't look great. I really didn't give a shit about any of the characters. Even Paul, because ACAB, you know what I mean? Like, my two options were that guy and a bunch of jagoffs who rob semi-trucks. And I will give them credit, for 2001 especially, the highway robbery scenes are really well done. I thought they were fun, good action, but I've also seen clips from later movies, and hindsight 2020, obviously, this is just how I feel because of those clips. There's so much better driving later in this series and franchise that this was just so boring to me. I was really bored with this.
Yeah, it's the first one.
I know, and I'm not saying it's a fault of the movie. I'm saying how I felt in this movie was mostly bored. I mostly was bored in this movie. Also, it does that classic thing where it's just really yellow. It's a really yellow movie, and I don't like it.
What is this, Breaking Bad Mexico or something?
Dude, it was so yellow, and I didn't care for how yellow the color grading was.
Carter.
What?
Look out your window right now. What color is it out there?
Blues, kind of yellowy, but like mostly blue.
Oh, it's yellow.
Yeah, but it's not like saturated yellow. It's not like if you put Big Bird's skin on a house.
That was a really weird way to say that.
Like you can see other colors. Like everything is like you can see the sunshine on everything. Like everything is bathed in sunshine, but it's not like everything is like infected by it. Like you rolled like a shitty paint roller over every surface.
I like the title sequence, the fat chrome text.
That was super fun. I love the music. The music is very, I don't know. It was just like everything felt like it was copying The Matrix at this time. Like all of these kind of mid-budget action movies. I can always get down with some, early 2000s big beat. That was fun.
All the songs felt like they fit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I like the Fast and Furious movies for what they are, which are stupid soap opera style action movies with big cars and dumb physics. And this first one is really not that. It's more of just like a movie. And then they kind of go off the rails later.
I find with the first couple
franchise.
movies, because of the things that do go on later in the franchise, the first few movies, it is a movie, obviously, so there's some suspension of disbelief. But none of the things in the movie, besides maybe like the truck sequence at the end, are like super unbelievable. You're like, yeah, this is a passable story that like I could feasibly see most of these things happening.
Yeah, like the sports car at the beginning underneath the semi, like nobody in their right mind would try that, but
you could do it.
It's possible.
Yeah, but you could do it.
Yeah, I found myself enjoying this movie a decent amount. I don't think it's like great. I don't think any of the Fast and Furious movies are that great, but I enjoy them for what they are. I don't know. It was solid. Do we know at the beginning that he's a cop, or is that revealed?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I didn't pick up on that, and I was like, oh, they don't tell you he's a cop until
he meets up with his cop buddies, with the porkers in charge.
I guarantee that they filmed scenes where they make it clear at the very beginning that he's a cop, and then they cut them because that twist really, I don't know. I feel like that hooked me more. Even though I've seen this before a couple times, it's just a good hook and keeps it relatively fresh from what would have otherwise been a kind of paint by numbers action movie.
It's always a fun revisit for me for nostalgic purposes, but also like funny moments. Despite what Carter kind of said about the cinematography perspective, there was one shot that I did note that I liked, and it's not a difficult shot. It's not complicated. But when they're doing the first race and the car meet, there's the static shot of the parking garages. And as it fades from day to night, and you can see all the cars like showing up and everyone arriving.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then the other one I did write down was, but Carter did say the truck scenes were done well. I liked the shot, the first one where you see the cars rip by and they're flanking the semi. The first shot is from the perspective of another car, and it's kind of cool to see that and imagine yourself seeing these dudes fly past you on the highway.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't that the cinematographer was necessarily bad. It was the color grading. It was mostly the editor that I had a problem with in this movie.
Your problem was just the yellow?
And I know it was the 2000s. Don't at me. I get it. I'm just saying that looking back at the 2000s, things did not have to be yellow or green. They can be colors. They can, we can just have a natural color grade, and it doesn't have to be so saturated yellow or so saturated green.
Speaking of the other characters and people you didn't like, you didn't find yourself endeared to Jesse?
I mean, I guess I kind of liked it, but also he doesn't. I don't know. I liked him, but he wasn't part of the last like kind of bit, because he drives off.
He lost his dad's car.
He drives off at Race Wars.
Dude, driving off at Race Wars is a no-no, though.
It's a no-no. Also, I also want to point out. This is the most early 2000s movie of all time because of the insults they use. Lot of throwing around of the F slur for next to no reason.
Well, hold on. I only remembered one.
Me too.
Okay, maybe I overplayed it in my head. I think I overplayed it in my head, but when it happened, I was like, okay. Whoa.
Yeah, I also was like, I don't remember that.
It's said by Vince, who you're not supposed to like. So
yeah. He has my only note is him. which
I
is
took
my,
a bunch of notes.
which is my favorite quote of the movie, but I'll get into that when we do quotes.
First note that I haven't covered.
Is him saying the F slur cover.
Yeah, that's my favorite quote.
Tuna no crust is one of my favorites. It's a wild order.
Well, that's also... Here's the thing. If I was going to a sandwich shop, if I was going to go to a sandwich shop to hit on a girl who worked at a sandwich shop, you know what I wouldn't order? Fucking tuna. I would not order tuna. Like...
Well,
that's great.
what about Carter?
Especially
Hold on.
everyone
Let me
knows
set
it's
it up.
bad.
Yeah, what if she prefaces it by telling you every day when you order it that the tuna's bad?
Look, I don't like tuna fish sandwiches. I think they're great. Like, tuna is such a great fish that I think tuna fish sandwiches and shit like that are such a waste.
Dare I say too much tuna, Carter?
Too much tuna. No, I just... Like, I get it. She's like, the tuna fish is really bad. You know what you could say to that? You could just, like, say anything else other than ordering the tuna. Because then you just kind of stink.
Brian fucking likes tuna, I guess, dude.
Dude, fucking, of course the cop likes tuna. You know what I see every time I see a cop, you know what I think? That dude likes tuna fish sandwiches and whole milk. That's what I think.
Donuts.
Donuts, whole milk, and tuna fish sandwiches. Fucking...
I fucking love donuts. Donuts are so yummy.
I know we talked about how kind of bland she is.
Hot take cable.
It's not hot at all.
I know how we talked how bland Letty is a little bit in this first one.
Mm-hmm.
But later, I definitely like her a lot more. She's a little more fiery, but she has there's personality to it. But I loved her combat boots with the flames. Oh, dude. It's so good.
I don't know. I was just mostly bored throughout this whole movie. That's my only problem with it.
You were bored when Paul and Vince were throwing hands. When Brian and Vince were throwing hands. And Dominic's response is, what'd you put in that sandwich?
Yeah, I was bored.
God damn it, Carter.
That was also, isn't that at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching and I was like, yo.
I usually hit my notes chronological order.
I was just very bored with the whole situation.
Because then after that, after the fight with Vince, Paul's kind of heated because Vin Diesel just told him that he doesn't have a job anymore. So he rushes back to his work to make sure that he still has a job. And he comes flying into the parking lot and just whams into the curb.
I remember that. I was like, that's a fun detail to add.
And then the street race, Ja Rule, is promised a fine young lady who offers herself to him, and he gets passed during the street race and he screams, Monica!
You're misremembering the scene. The chick says, hey, I'll sleep with you after the race, whether you win or lose, but if you win, it'll be a threesome. And he points to the other chick, and then he loses.
That wasn't my interpretation.
Which one is Monica?
The one he loses.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's such a funny thing to fucking cry about.
That was pretty funny.
Corny ass moment.
It
is a cornball movie.
It's a cornball movie.
I think a lot of people pretend that it's not. It totally is.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
Look, if you love it for how corny it is, more power to you. But if you're one of these guys who's like, no, this is what being a man is, how about fucking shut up? How about shut the fuck up?
I'm not saying it's a cinematic masterpiece. What I'm saying is there's lines that make me laugh. I have part of that innate boy brain that likes to see cars go fast while there's angsty rock playing. And yeah, it's more like a fun watch for an hour and a half, hour 40.
That's fine. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm saying the problem I have with this movie is not that it's corny or that it's like about cars and stealing toaster ovens or whatever they're stealing. It was that I was bored. That's why I don't like this one. It's because like I couldn't give a shit less about the plot, and I was still like, man, when is this gonna be over? Like, it's not a good sign when I check the time in the movie.
I know you perked up at that gangster's snakeskin pants.
Why would I perk up at his snakeskin pants, Mason?
Because you were like, oh, he's looking nice in those snakeskin pants.
I couldn't give a shit about that guy's snakeskin pants.
This happens every time there's a guy in snakeskin pants in a movie that we watch. Is Carter always makes a big comment about it. He goes, "I love it when that happens.
I love it.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite movies. Are the snakeskin pants on guys.
I love snakeskin pants. I love them. No, I don't have any opinions about snakeskin pants. Except that all snakes should be pants. I hate snakes.
Why'd it have to be snakes on my pants? That's what he always is saying. That's his famous catchphrase. Indiana Jones. Why'd it have to be snakeskin pants?
I love how on a first name basis Vin Diesel was with the cops when he's running away from the street race and the cop car just hits a U-turn when they see him, and over the intercom, Toretto, stop right there.
That's the other question. Like, he's always talking about how he'll die before he goes to jail. Why don't they just go arrest him for street racing?
Can't pin him down.
I mean, you could, because he's not.
He always runs away.
But he's not always in his car.
Oh, but he is.
He's on foot. You can outrun a car. You haven't seen the later movies, clearly.
Clearly.
They become the cars in the next one, I've heard.
Is it time for quotes?
I've seen all of them except for the most recent one.
X.
And I made a drinking game for the whole thing. So if you were to marathon all these movies, preferably not in one night, but maybe like a long week.
I've done it. It's great. It's why I love these movies. It was the first time I watched these movies. Game? No, I was 15, but I also just don't really like alcohol that much.
That's okay. Well, you gotta drink every time that someone says family, of course. That's a course.
Surprisingly, the first one, it doesn't get hit that much.
No.
No, I don't think... Did they say it at all?
I think he says it like...
I didn't notice it.
About his sister. He doesn't say like family as a concept. He's like, this gang, it's a family.
No, yeah. It doesn't... That quote doesn't show up till later.
So I got someone says family. A driver uses NOS or some other form of speed boost. There's a party scene where scantily clad women are dancing. An actor that you recognize shows up for the first time. This happens a lot in the later movies. You're like, what the fuck? Kurt Russell's here? You gotta drink every time there's a slow-mo bass drop in an action scene. That's a lot more of the recent ones as well. Someone says some bitch, which is usually The Rock. And then drink every time someone drinks a Corona. And then you finish your drink when the main characters have a cookout or when someone comes back from the dead, because it happens. I think it's happened like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, doesn't Michelle Rodriguez...
That's my Fast and Furious drinking game.
Doesn't Michelle Rodriguez die at some point, or did I hear wrong?
I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah.
I also want to point out...
But she's not dead.
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to look up the Fast and Furious.
Was that your quote table?
No.
Okay, before we get to quotes, there's like 3 more things I want to hit.
I bet.
I did like, speaking of Dom and Letty, the party scene where they're going upstairs and Letty just keeps pressing Dom aggressively. Maybe you should take me upstairs and give me a massage. And he's like, but there's people. I gotta greet the guests. Maybe you should take me upstairs.
Hey, Dom, I'm horny. Shut the fuck up. Is that...
The revenge moment Brian gets on Vince when Vince is trying to cook popcorn in the kitchen while Brian and Mia are doing the dishes. And Mia goes up to Vince while he's hammered, and she's like, What was that restaurant you wanted to take me to? And he gets all happy. He's like, oh, yeah, it's this one. And she turns around and she goes, Brian, you should take me there.
That's the same scene where he says he's going to pimp her out.
Vince?
No. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think what she said was valid.
Yeah. He sucks so much, dude. I do not understand why in that scene he's like, oh, she's feeling me. Now that I've threatened to pimp her out, she's feeling me.
Did you not have any satisfaction when Brian and Dominic were rolling down the road and they pulled up next to that old dude in the Ferrari? And Dominic was like, burn him.
No, not really.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't like this movie. I'm sorry.
I don't like you. You didn't like when Dominic was fighting at what's the race called at the end?
Race Wars.
Race Wars?
Race Wars. You didn't like when Dominic was fighting that dude at Race Wars and his friend was walking over and Letty just decked him?
That was good.
It's great.
I think you'll find it's great.
I think if you watch it again, Carter, I think you'll find it's great.
Yeah, watch it again tonight.
I don't want to. I got other shit I can watch.
It'll be a different lens.
I don't wanna. Please don't make me. There's so much I haven't
watched. Just to cement how much the Fast and Furious chronology is, like, just how hilarious it is. Because Mason knows all this. Carter, how many of these have you seen?
This one.
This is it?
Yeah.
This was your first time watching any Fast and Furious movie?
Yes.
That's why I was excited, but I'm disappointed now.
They get more fun. They're very popcorn movies.
I think I'll like the more fun ones.
So they made this one, and then they made Too Fast, Too Furious, and then they made Tokyo Drift, which doesn't have any of the characters. Like, it's all focused on brand new characters, and it's set in Tokyo, of course. And there's a character in it named Han, who everybody liked and thought was super cool.
I loved him. But
the problem is that he dies in Tokyo Drift. So, what do? Well, Fast 4, 5, and 6 are all set between the second one and Tokyo Drift. So, 4, 5, and 6 are all prequels to the third one. And then Han dies. And then, after that, they do 7 and 8, no Han, and then they bring him back from the dead. And they have a retcon where it was actually an illusion of him blowing up in a car.
He's the best.
This is what we're dealing with here, man.
I did see when I was accidentally watching the fourth one.
It's so funny.
When I was watching the fourth one, I did get to a scene where Han was like, I think I'm going to check out Tokyo. And I was like, oh, I think I've heard about this situation.
I think I know where we're going with this.
I was like, oh, he's going to do a Tokyo drift.
Bum, 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 bum. I wonder if you know. Dude, I'm torn if that's the best one.
I honestly don't really like Tokyo Drift.
That's ridiculous.
I like the song. The song's awesome. Movie? I don't know. It's been a while. I watched like all these when I was doing my COVID movie marathon. So I was watching like 2 movies a day. That was fun, but I didn't retain a lot from some of them.
Makes sense. Anyway, are we ready for quotes, bro?
Yeah, I can do. I have 2.
I have 1. I'm gonna do my
I'll
one.
Jump out in front of it and.
I have a bunch.
Okay.
It's my only note. You have to give me my only note. Okay? This is my favorite quote in the whole movie. What is up with this fool? What is he, sandwich crazy? Which is said.
Yeah, dude, he is.
When Brian orders a sandwich for the simple fact that a man ordered a sandwich. What is this guy, sandwich crazy? What are you sandwich crazy, bro? You love tuna?
But to be fair, he had been going there a couple days in a row.
He was going there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
he likes a sandwich.
But he just might like to go to lunch there. You know?
Like,
That thing that people do every day, eat lunch.
It would take a lot for me to call someone sandwich crazy. That would be a lot of sandwiches for me to go, bro, you're sandwich crazy. This guy gets one sandwich a day. He's sandwich crazy. Are you kidding me?
My quote, I needed to get out in front of it because I thought it was going to be the only one that you guys had. Well, not the only one, but
it's the one that lives in infamy, I assume.
You can have any brew you want as long as it's a Corona.
I considered writing that down, but I didn't write it down.
It's so funny. I wonder how much of their budget has been from Corona. Like, because it's like just collectively, it's in all the movies. They don't shy away from it. Like, it's got to be like $100 million.
It's got to be more. I think it's more.
It's a flip. They had to pay Corona to do it because it's the only thing Vin Diesel will drink.
Maybe he developed a taste for it after. I don't know. But my backup quote is also tuna sandwich related. It's where he goes, I like the tuna here. And then Vince goes, bullshit, asshole. No one likes the tuna here. And then Paul claps back with the ultimate zinger response to this. Yeah, well, I do.
Yeah, well,
he does.
do. He doesn't. He likes flirting with the girl.
And he likes tuna.
Yeah, well, I do.
He wouldn't order the tuna sandwich every day if he didn't like tuna. He'd order something else.
No, but he'd do it to be like cute and regular.
No.
Yes.
Number one.
All right, Mason, what's your quote?
The party scene, there's a couple people making out in the middle of the party, and Dominic stops and he goes, take it upstairs. You can't detail a car with the cover on. Great one. And then...
Who's getting detailed?
Okay.
Brian is talking to his cop buddies, and one of the cop buddies is talking about Dominic Toretto, and he goes, he's got nitrous oxide in his blood and a gas tank for a brain. And then, of course, the only quote from this movie that truly lives on, live my life at a quarter mile at a time.
Oh, not the Corona one.
No, dude.
Mason, do you live your life a quarter mile at a time?
I find myself, yes, I do that. I don't think very long term, and I kind of focus on day to day.
I live my life one Corona at a time.
9 to 5, sap your soul.
I live my life one Corona at a time. I'm going to fight you, Abel. Abel, what you got?
Hey, Mason starts.
It's one of those ones that's just unrateable, isn't it?
Nostalgia out of time.
Disagree.
Are you for real, my guy?
Give me a minute. Somebody else rate. We'll circle back.
All right.
No, you gotta do it unfiltered, dude. Give me it. Show me your hands, buddy.
First Fast and Furious movie, 7. I think it's a fun watch. I think there's fun moments. It's got that nostalgia factor for me. And I think, like Abel was talking about, I think this movie specifically and a couple others more so than the rest of the franchise just show a fun action movie heavily featuring cars for people who like cars.
Well said.
Abel?
I agree with that. I don't think I'm as high on it as you are. But I didn't really grow up with these movies. They were more of I gotta watch all sorts of movies because I love movies kind of watch for me. And so I watched them, and they're a lot of fun. This first one is very much just a straightforward, like, 90s, early 2000s style action movie that just happens to have an emphasis on cars and street racing and stuff, and that's fun. And then eventually they grew out of that and became fucking dumbass, like, spy action movies, those are the ones I like the most because those are total turn your brain off, just like, I don't know. I feel like I enter kind of like an overstimulated but meditative state when I watch those. I don't really get that here. This is more just fun. I'm going to give it a 5, I think.
Is that me?
That's you, buddy.
I am unhindered by nostalgia or hindsight for these movies, as y'all know. I don't know, dude. I was really bored when I watched this movie. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm giving this movie a 4. At me. Come at me in the comments.
I was expecting worse, honestly. I feel like you're protecting yourself from hate.
I'm not. It just wasn't offensive. It was just boring, but it wasn't bad. Does that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was serviceable.
It was a 4.
Mason, what are your thoughts?
Fuck you.
He gave us.
Yeah, I gave my thoughts.
He gave it a 7. Which I think brings us to my favorite segment of this show, called "What's Happening." What's going on?
Carter, what's going on with you, baby?
I got a lot to talk about for what's going on this week. Wait, so somebody else do it first.
You go first. I'm still reeling.
All right, so not to give a peek behind the curtain. I have been we banked the last couple because I have been working like 3 weeks straight, 12-hour days, and I have not been able to watch anything. So I really want to talk about Daredevil, and I really want to talk about Andor. Those are going to have to be next episode because I have not been able to watch them. What I did watch was Sinners in theaters, and I know I'm going to give such a
look. Oh, I really want to watch that.
This movie is so good. Sinners is so fucking good. It is such a good movie. It is great. The cinematography is great. The writing's great. The themes are great. The way they showcase those themes is great. The action is great. The fucking music is some of the best music in any movie you will ever see. The performances are amazing. The double performance by Michael B. Jordan is incredible. It's great. It's actually a fucking fantastic film. And I would say it's so fucking fantastic that I think when we talk about the great directors, Ryan Coogler deserves to be in this conversation now.
Damn.
He crushes it.
Yeah. I will see it. I would like to see it in theaters. Maybe I go. It's
amazing. It's so good. And I'm not going to spoil any of it, but just go see it. Also, fuck the trades for being covertly racist. Just fuck you.
What happened?
Because they're like, oh, it still hasn't made its budget back. Yeah, it's been out for like 4 days.
Oh, you're lagging, buddy.
Well,
that was. You're back.
Am I back?
I think so.
Am I back? Am I back?
You just gotta get really loud.
Let's just leave that in, please.
You like that noise?
Personal request of mine. Please leave that noise in.
Everybody go see Sinners. Also, my last thing that I wanted to talk about is that the draft occurred last week. I don't know when this is going out, actually, but the draft occurred, the NFL draft, and the Seahawks crushed it.
I was going to talk about this, too.
The Seahawks fucking crushed it. We had the best...
I'm fucking high on Jalen Milroe, dude. Oh, my God. Like, I was going to be pissed if we, like, sunk a first into him, but we sunk a third, and it wasn't even our first third.
No. We had
I think that was perfect.
We got the guard I wanted, the NDSU guard I wanted, who was hilarious. And great.
Yeah.
We got Emanwari, the safety, who was the other guy who we were supposed to take at 18. He fell to our second round. We traded up to get him in the second round.
My friend says he's going to be the next Cam Chancellor.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he does look crazy on the fucking tape I've seen.
We got Milroe, who was the highest graded athleticism, like the highest graded quarterback for athleticism.
Dude, he was the fastest guy on Alabama.
Yes.
Like, just full stop.
He's a great athlete. We have the most athletic draft class in like 30 years, I think, or something like that, some stat like that. There is one pick that I was like, why are we doing this in the 5th? And it was the Alabama tight end that we're turning into a lead blocking fullback that we definitely could have got in the 7th round. But we took him in the 5th. But whatever, the rest of the draft was great. We got 2 receivers that I'm excited about, especially Ricky White. Ricky White went kind of apeshit on the Cougs last year. Here are my 2 things. Here are my two things I want to talk about with the draft. And Abel, I think you're going to agree. Shedeur Sanders is mid. Okay? And it's all I heard about for 3 days of watching the draft. Teams didn't, like, the teams might have not taken him because his dad is his agent and he's only ever been coached by his dad. And, like, he's not very coachable and he bombed in the interviews. That could all be true. But also, they didn't take him until the 4th round because...
5th round.
5th round. Sorry, you're right. 5th round. Because not only is all of that true, he's mid as fuck.
Well, I think that they just realized that he isn't that good.
Well,
and for that level of, like, talent or whatever, like, there's no... It does not offset the media circus that they'll unleash upon themselves for drafting.
Exactly.
Him, you know?
That's my point.
And
exactly.
The head coach and GM are just going to get fired in 2 years when he sucks.
Like,
and then his dad's going to take over as coach. Like,
this is real.
The Browns didn't even look happy about taking him. It was probably just the owner calling the GM going, "We like Shedeur. Take him."
Well, exactly.
Now.
Here's
and he wasn't even the first quarterback that they took.
No.
In this draft, which is insane.
I have some real opinions. One, Shedeur Sanders didn't do shit in college, right? He didn't win anything. Okay.
He's playing with Travis Hunter too.
He had Travis Hunter, and he didn't fucking win anything. And I have a lot of feelings about Colorado as a team, but here's the real thing. Every like media person is now like, "Oh, Gabriel, the quarterback for Oregon, Gabriel isn't a better fucking quarterback than Shedeur." Here's the thing. He won more than Shedeur. He went to the playoffs and beat Ohio State with the Oregon Ducks. And I hate the Oregon Ducks, but I can tell you for a fact, Gabriel has more accomplishments than Shedeur Sanders in college. Meaning, on paper, he's a better quarterback. That's how we judge these things.
Oregon and Colorado are very different programs.
Right. Shedeur was given...
I would like to point out.
But also, Shedeur was the only guy who had the ball in Colorado.
Yeah.
And he's still not posting... Like, whatever. 2, I just feel bad for Gabriel because now he's being like... Everybody's shitting on him, even though he was a 3rd-round quarterback and he knew he was going to be a 3rd-round quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't go...
I think 3rd round was kind of early for him, honestly.
Well, that's what he didn't go out and go, "I'm the best quarterback in this draft." He just got drafted. And now everybody's like pointing at him and shit talking him. And he's like, "I didn't do anything."
I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm not trying to pick fights or whatever.
Like, I just feel bad for him because, I don't know, it's just garbage.
Fuck the guys who prank called Shedeur. That's fucked up. I don't, have any opinions on Shedeur, as a person. I don't know. He could be whatever. He could be a great person. He could be a piece of shit. I have no idea. But prank calling someone on draft day is just kind of a fucked up thing to do.
No, it is.
This is the moment that they've all been thinking about for basically their entire lives. And you're kind of robbing that from them.
I agree. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I am not going to let it slide because they're teenagers, but I am going to, they're teenagers. Teenagers are assholes. Don't be assholes. There's one more thing I'd like to yell about.
Yell about it.
Cam Ward, former Coug quarterback, was the 1st overall pick in the draft. ESPN's coverage of the draft missed him receiving the call because they were showing Shedeur Sanders highlights. The 1st overall pick in the draft. Now, I don't mean to be this guy, but if you are wondering why teams then didn't take Shedeur, maybe have some introspection, the media. Maybe just a tiny bit of introspection about how much you have glazed this kid for having the last name Sanders. That's it. That's my thoughts on the draft. Seahawks did great. That's what I really care about. Shedeur, I don't if he does great, I won't care. If people comment, if he turns out to be a really great quarterback in the NFL, which I don't think he will be, but if people come at me 4 years after this and are like, well, he turned out to be a great quarterback. Here's the reasons I don't think he will be a great quarterback. He's uncoachable. He's a media circus in and of himself. And the guy who's his biggest supporter said the same thing about Johnny Manziel. Like, he only has bad takes about drafting quarterbacks. So I just don't think he'll be that good. Mason, what's up?
Mason, what are your thoughts on the NFL draft?
Yeah, Mason, what do you think about the NFL draft?
Do you disagree or agree with any of our takes that we've been spouting?
A couple days ago at work, I was wearing a Seahawks sweatshirt, which I got for free from work. So a customer I was helping asked me about the draft, and it was one of those situations where I also half didn't hear what he said. So I threw the fakest smile and hit him with a nod and just, yeah, dude.
You didn't phone a friend?
My way through the conversation.
I could have helped you out, man. Phone a friend.
It's a 5-minute interaction with a customer. But I was just like, yeah, dude, for sure.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm almost done with Dune Messiah.
The books.
I just have like no one to really talk to about it. Because none of my friends have read Dune. So.
Talk about it.
I'm shouting in a well.
He's shouting at me mostly.
Yeah, mostly because Carter likes the movies.
Everyone likes the movies.
Yeah, but not everyone's read the books.
Yes, this is true.
Kill the author. Kill him. Kill the author. And I don't mean this specific author. I mean authors in general.
He's dead. You can't.
What do you think of it, Mason? What do you think of Dune and Dune Messiah?
I'm liking it, and I also share the opinion of others that the first Dune novel is only compared to the larger story, it's small in retrospect.
Damn, that book took 2 movies.
Like the story goes far beyond what the first Dune is about.
Damn!
I should read this damn book.
You should finish that first Dune book.
Yeah. I almost feel like I don't need to because I saw the movie.
Don't say Abel. Abel, please. Please, Abel, don't say that. Abel, please don't say that. Please.
I had like 50 pages left.
Abel,
I'm gonna explode.
Abel, please don't say that to Mason. Please.
So Frank Herbert, the way he writes, I love it because especially for action sequences, he's very blunt and straight to the point. Like an entire fight will take place across the course of 1 page. And what that does while you're reading it is things will be going along, progressing slowly, and then 1 page comes along and everything is just drastically tipped in one direction and you're like, oh my fucking god. Like in Dune Messiah, something just happened. Crazy. Spoiler free. I can say somebody used an atomic weapon. And the result of that was anyone in the proximity had their eyes seared out of their skull. But they're still alive. They just don't have eyes. Damn. And that took...
And that was 1 page.
Yeah, that happened on 1 page. And I was sitting in the car reading and I was like, what just happened? Everything was going fine. And then all of a sudden an atomic weapon hit and no one has eyes anymore. Crazy shit ensues.
Sounds like a fun book.
It's a great book. Carter, I'm telling you, consider the audiobook.
I just got to do it. I was saying this to Mason earlier off pod, but I don't have time to sit and read. I got to just audiobook some shit.
But I think Frank Herbert's world building and I think all the themes he layers into this story and slowly builds up, I think you would get a lot from this book. I think you would really like it.
Good deal. Good shit.
I'll speak from a middle ground perspective where I think you won't share as much dislike for the movies after the book, but I think you'll see where I'm coming from.
Fair enough.
Because there's just so many characters that they're warped in subtle ways, but the repercussions of that is, I think, far more integral to the story than at first glance.
Ooh. I'm scared now.
Dude, the fucking Bene Gesserit aren't fucking telepaths. This is bullshit.
Are you gonna watch the show that came out?
I don't know.
The Dune
It
prequel
looks
show.
kind of bad.
I watched
Is it a
3
prequel?
episodes. It's like set. It's
Hold
like
on. What's it called?
Dune,
Dune Prophecy.
Prophecy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that's one of the
Dumb name.
because after finishing the first book, I've then started. Today, I listened to a couple podcasts of people discussing it. I learned there's a ton of prequel and spin-off novels from the Dune series. Like there's 6 main ones, but in total, I think there's like 20 something Dune books. So there's a lot of prequel and side content to consume of in the Dune universe. So I'm not surprised they made a show.
Oh, Warner Brothers.
All right, Abel. What you got? What you got for me?
I mentioned a while ago that I started The White Lotus season 3, like when it was coming out. And then I just found myself not having a lot of time to watch TV. So when I did, I prioritized watching Severance. White Lotus season 3, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, wow, this is awesome. I'm like so gripped by it. There's so many plot lines that I'm like, I really want to see where this is going. It was really fun, and then it ended, and I just kind of felt like, that did wrap up a lot of the stuff that was happening, but it wasn't like particularly satisfying, and there were a lot of threads that I wish that were, woven up by the end of it. And the Walton Goggins subplot. I love Walton Goggins, and there's a extended cameo that is so fucking funny.
Oi.
I did not know that was coming.
If you say
It's
a
so
bad
funny.
word about Wally Goggs, me and you are going to have some serious fucking
No,
problems.
he's incredible. All the actors in this show are amazing. Like,
We're going to have some
There's no way around
serious
it.
fucking problems.
That's
I
my
just-
ghoul.
That's...
I found where his subplot went to be predictable. Like, he's kind of a mystery for the first few episodes, and then he says, I'm here to do this. And then I go, oh, that's why? Okay, well then that's probably what is going to happen then, is I've already come up with the conclusion, and it was correct the whole time. And I think sometimes that's okay. Like, guessing where a plot is going to go is fine. But it was treated like a huge twist when it was really, really predictable. And this show usually isn't like that, so I was bummed. Overall, I would give White Lotus season 3, I'll give it an 8. I wish they stuck the landing a little better, but watching it was a fun experience. Yeah, and then I watched, as of right now, I've seen the first 2 episodes of The Last of Us season 2. It's good. I only know very little about the second game, but one of the things, and without spoiling it, one of the things that I knew very well about the second game, they handled it very well, and it was fun talking with all of my, kind of like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. If you know it's coming, it's kind of fun to, like, see what other people think when they get to that point.
Your friend
guys
is
watch
like,
this
why
show
aren't
at
you
all?"
watching the screen? Why are you watching me?
Yo, when your
What?
friend looks at you when there's a character in a situation that you don't want that character to be in, you're like, fuck, this is terrible.
Your friend that has seen the show and
Yeah.
is not watching the show, but looking at your reaction and waiting.
You're like, fuck.
No, I hold it together. I've learned from my mistakes. I'm good at this shit now. I hide it.
They can't kill Ned Stark.
They couldn't.
No.
They couldn't.
No, he's the main guy.
He's the main character.
He's the main focus. Ah, shit.
Oh, God. I think they just cut his head off.
You guys should watch White Lotus. You guys watching Last of Us?
Not
I'm
yet.
watching Marlon.
I forgot about that.
too
Andor
busy.
takes priority over Last of Us, Abel. That's facts.
Does it?
Yes.
I like Andor. I will watch it. I just don't have Disney Plus, so I gotta steal it.
Shh, don't tell. Shh.
I haven't seen season 1.
Watch season 1.
It's
It's great.
Mason,
I've been told, but
it's the best Star Wars thing.
I disagree.
You haven't seen it, bitch.
Yes, but I don't want to mess up the rankings that I have of the stuff I've seen. So
That's crazy.
This is you guys in your fucking rankings are so funny.
It's crazy, dude. Watch it. It's the best Star Wars thing.
I won't watch it because if it's as good as you say, then my rankings that are in my head are going to be different.
yeah, I can't.
We're supposed to change.
I refuse.
Mason's going to miss out on the best Star Wars thing because he doesn't want the best Star Wars thing to change.
Dude, I've seen the best Star Wars thing.
What is the
I
best
know
Star
it's
Wars
called
thing?
Andor, but it's really
I've seen
not.
The Last Jedi.
Good movie, not
sorry.
the best Star Wars thing. I just made Mason mad.
Are we having this discussion right now?
We're going to do it when I recap Andor Season 2.
I think we're going to have very similar opinions on the Last Jedi.
We are.
I think we've talked
We
about
have
this
talked
before.
about it extensively. Anyway, I think that's the episode, guys.
I don't know. I got to spin.
Oh, fuck. We got to spin. Is it your spin,
I
Abel?
think it's my spin too. Yeah.
Do it up.
Yeah.
Give it a spin.
'Cause Mason was fast, and then yours was chicken run.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to spin this shit.
Spin
For
it.
real.
Spin that shit.
Oh. I thought it was going to land on musical. Probably shouldn't have watched.
We always get this one. We only ever get like 3.
We haven't gotten this one yet, I don't think.
Yeah, we have.
What did we do for it?
This was the one oh no, that's not true. That we got banned in my house. All right, what do you got?
Probably shouldn't have watched. That's like a movie that I was too young for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Spirited Away when I was really young, and I got really scared by it. But I don't want to do another Ghibli movie.
But also Spirited Away is for children. That's not
I was like 3.
Yeah.
I ran out of the room.
Not me
my
calling-
mom put it on at my grandparents' house, and I ran out of the room, and I was like, "Please don't turn into pigs, Mom." And I like hugged her. I was crying. I was
Not me calling 3-year-old Abel a coward.
What have you guys seen? What About Bob?
No, I have not seen What About Bob. I've never even heard of
My
What About
parents
Bob.
had this on DVD sealed for some reason. And I was like, I gotta watch this because I thought Bob was a funny name and it was PG, so I could watch it.
If we pick What About Bob, this is going to be the least viewed video we.
Yeah. About RoboCop.
Oh, Jesus.
The What About Bob SEO goes crazy, dude. It goes crazy.
Dude, everybody's looking up shit about this, dude. Everyone's clamoring for What About Bob content.
How to watch RoboCop?
You should see the latest trends that they got over on Bob Talk, where they just do TikToks about What About Bob.
Very active What About Bob subreddit. Very active.
Let's do RoboCop,
RoboCop?
because
I think I saw. What do you think? I think I saw World War Z when it came out, and I was 12 when it came out.
I think that's a good age to watch World War Z.
I think it's alright.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
I watched it and then I read the book, and the book is nothing like the movie.
No, it's
The
not.
book is like,
Well, there's also some like I've read about it, and there's some like dark stuff that happens that's not included.
we'll watch RoboCop. I don't really know what else to put down, but I'd love to watch that again. And it's a good movie, and I can justify putting it.
All right, bet. RoboCop. Get ready for a capitalist rant, folks.
Get ready
Oliver
for heel
Hogan
time.
You're going to be the heel?
I'm guessing.
I don't like this movie because I actually love capitalism.
Mason-
I don't like what this movie has to say.
Mason is a capitalist shill, let's be honest.
No, there's just like a certain era of movies. I feel like that if I don't have the nostalgia factor for them, I don't enjoy them.
Well, Mason,
This
since
one's actually good.
since
This
neither
one's
of
actually
us,
good.
since me and Abel aren't 47 years old, I don't think we'll have the nostalgia factor for RoboCop. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky. Like and comment. Leave us a review. Abel, do we have any emails and or reviews?
I don't think so.
Don't even.
I'm gonna
bother.
look. I'll look though.
Look if we have any reviews.
We have no emails. Adam Hicks did upload a new video, so we got an email.
Oh.
I followed him.
He put out a song. Go check out Adam Hicks' song.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Did you
What's
listen to
called?
it?
No.
Oh, I did.
Should we have Adam Hicks on the pod? Should we do a Zeke and Luther episode?
For
and
sure,
have Adam
we should
Hicks on the
revisit
pod?
Lemonade Mouth with Adam Hicks.
No, we should watch Zeke and Luther and have Adam Hicks on the pod.
Actually, no. What are we doing, dude? It's a nostalgic movie for him. Duh.
He's in Zeke and Luther.
But that doesn't mean it's something that he loved.
Oh, we'd ask him what he wants to watch.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Adam Hicks, open invite.
Adam Hicks.
If you're listening, and we know that you are.
If you're Abel, clip this.
Post it and tag him in it, and he'll find it.
Abel, clip
He'll
this.
find it.
Tag him in it. Adam Hicks, open invite to the pod, man.
Adam Hicks, maybe that clip gave you the wrong impression. Full episode, we gave you positive reviews.
Literally my favorite character in that whole movie.
Positive
Adam Hicks.
person review.
I wasn't laughing. I was not laughing at you. I was laughing at Burbank. All right? Everybody calm down.
A dude who raps and plays the keyboard as a child. I was like, this is the epitome of cool.
I do remember that.
That's dope.
Adam Hicks, you're my favorite part of that
You
movie.
were in
Clip it, Abel.
How to Eat Fried Worms, which I've seen.
That's a great movie.
I love How
That's
to
a
Eat
great
Fried
movie.
Worms. I read that book, too. My dad made me read that book.
I think I read that book too.
Your dad
yeah.
feed you worms, Carter.
No! I'll feed you worms, bitch.
Yeah.
Feed you my worm.
Hey!
Owned.
Hey!
Burn.
Hey!
Clip it.
Last episode, folks. Peace out.
Take care, everybody.
Race Wars.
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 Um.
All right, I'm stopping.